Covering news that matters. Fox 23 News at 6:30 starts right now.
I just felt really helpless, like nobody was thinking it was that big of a deal.
A local mom turned to Fox 23 when she says she couldn't get help getting her little girl's personal information removed or redacted from online public court records. Thank you for joining me for Fox 23 News at 6:30. I'm Shay Rozzi. Rick has the night off. The mom contacted me to see if this was against the law and to warn other parents their child's information may be out there for anyone to see and possibly steal. It's tonight's In Depth.
We're only using Abigail's first name and covering her daughter's face because this story is about privacy. Privacy she thought she would have for her little girl while filing a petition for child support and paternity against the child's father, to whom Abigail was never married.
Tell me all the information about your daughter that you found that anyone else could find if they looked up your case.
Her full name, her full date of birth, her genetic testing between me and her biological father. Her birth certificate was on there with all of her information.
What is your concern with that information being out there online?
That one of the things that you need to get a social security number is a birth certificate. Anyone could print that off and steal her identity, and she's not even 2 yet.
Here's the original filing. We've used red marks to cover sensitive information, but I could see her daughter's full name, date of birth, her birth certificate, which showed Abigail's date of birth and address marked out, but not the child's. The DNA report establishing paternity had no redactions. Everything Abigail described, anyone could see online if they looked up her case, originally filed on her behalf in June of 2024 by the Muskogee Nation Office of Child Support Enforcement. By January of this year, when Abigail realized all of this information was online, she says she asked the tribal attorney to redact the information, but was told this was their standard procedure and it was not a big deal. Abigail disagreed.
I attempted to remedy it myself. Every single attorney that I spoke to wanted me to hire them to fix the problem and told me that it was a big no-no. So I brought it to the original attorney, and she did try to remedy it with the redacted version. However, when it was brought up in open court, it was stated that it would be denied due to that is their protocol of how they file things.
Here's the version the tribal attorney later filed in January that appears to show the child's name marked out with a marker. Abigail says during a hearing on the matter on February 11th, Tulsa County Judge Julie Doss denied the motion to redact.
I ended up contacting you because no one else wanted to help or seemed like it was a big priority of theirs.
She contacted me 3 days after that hearing on February 14th. I immediately took these screenshots of her original filing. You can see the timestamp is just before noon. I could see all of her daughter's personal information in the documents as she described. That again, we've marked out in red for her daughter's protection. I then contacted Tulsa County Judge Julie Doss through an email to her clerk at 3:34 the afternoon of the 14th. She replied by 4:03, telling me Judge Doss was unable to discuss an ongoing case and that the document was not redacted but was sealed of record, and to review the minute reflecting this information. I asked when the change was made since I took screenshots on the 14th, 3 days after the hearing on the 11th, when I could still see all of the child's information in the documents. She did not reply.
The judge sealing it after getting your email, that tells me it's wrong. And if it's not wrong, then say why it's not wrong. Don't just seal something to make someone shut up.
When I asked the Muskogee Nation why Abigail's case was filed this way to begin with, they told me this was their standard procedure. I did find more filings from the office with kids' entire names and birth certificates, but others used only initials with a blurred birth certificate, and another used initials only, even though the kids are now adults. I was told the tribal office follows the same procedures as Oklahoma Human Services when it comes to child support filings. When I reached out to the State Department of Human Services, they explained in a statement, what must be included is detailed in court rules for each district. Some just require initials of children. The law does require submission of a separate document called a summary of support order. That is not entered into the public court record. I contacted Tulsa attorney Frank Frazier of Frazier, and Hickman, who says as a general practice, attorneys normally only use a child's initials in a court filing. He directed me to the rules in the Tulsa jurisdiction. Civil Rule 35 is about personal data identifiers that states parties should not include sensitive information in any document with the court unless such inclusion is necessary and relevant to the case. And if it is, like names of minor children, only the initials of that child should be used. And if dates of birth must be included, only the year should be used. Part of this rule, number 5, shows this civil rule shall not apply to family cases. He then referred me to Rule 11 that says the civil rules contained in the previous section are applicable to family cases unless otherwise in conflict.
The more I talk to other people about it who have had kids longer than me, or even attorneys or doctors, they were just mind blown, like jaw to the floor that would even happen.
Looking up Abigail's case now, it shows the original filing as a sealed document. But she wants other parents to take the time to check their case to protect their child's information.
Their innocence is out there, and we as parents, we are the only ones that can fight for them.
If you find that your child's information is included in a family court filing, there is a form from the Tulsa County Clerk's Office you can file requesting the information be redacted. We will include that for you to download in this story on Fox23.com. If you're planning to file for child support in the future, then you may want to ask your attorney about limiting information that goes into the public filing from the get-go.